Hey guys, today I thought I would do a comparison video going over the similarities and the differences between the A5 Gillio Appunto and the A5 Moterm Hobonichi cover. So I often see these two planners being compared to each other. People say that the Moterm covers are a dupe for the Gillio covers, and in some ways they are very, very similar. And I think that really depends on what your definition of dupe is, because this planner is not an exact duplicate for this planner. The price points on these planners are very different. The A5 Gillio in the Epoca leather retails for approximately $295 US, not including shipping from Belgium. And the Moterm planner retails for, I think I paid $48.99 for this cover, and it was on Amazon Prime, so that included shipping. So big difference in the price point on these planners, and this is an example of you get what you pay for. Not saying that this is not a good quality planner, it's just you can't expect a $300 planner and a $50 planner to be exactly the same. I would say that this is a good low-cost copycat of this planner just because of the way that these are set up. But once you get your hands on these planners and you actually start feeling the leather and the differences in how they are constructed, you can start to see where the major differences are between these two planners. So I'm going to go through this kind of step by step and show you exactly what you get with each planner. Before we get started, let's talk about today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community built to help you unleash your creative potential. New classes are constantly being added, so if you want to learn something new or brush up on an old skill, this is the place to do it. I have chosen the Hobonichi Cousin as my 2021 planner, and I'm focusing on using fewer stickers and more pens in this notebook. Because I'm using fewer stickers, I'm hoping to be able to add more flair to my planner using hand lettering techniques. So of course, I went to Skillshare and I immediately found a bunch of classes to help me improve my hand lettering. Here's a great beginner class that I'm taking to learn some new lettering styles and techniques. I can't wait to show you guys what I've learned in my next Hobonichi walkthrough video. Skillshare classes are broken down into shorter, more manageable lessons that allow you to learn at your own pace and repeat lessons if you need more practice. These classes are curated for learning, so there's no ads, and at less than $10 a month for an annual subscription, this tool can fit any budget. The first 1,000 people to use the link in the description box below will receive a free trial of the Skillshare Premium membership. If you guys have been watching my videos for any amount of time, you know that I only recommend stuff that I personally use and love, and Skillshare is no exception. Both planners come in a nice storage box with a dust cover or dust bag on the inside. The construction on these is pretty similar, nothing really to report there. The Gillio dust cover is a little bit different than the Moterm dust cover. The Gillio dust cover is like a heavy-duty, cottony, fleecy fabric with a drawstring at the top, and the Moterm dust cover is a velvety material. They both serve the same purpose, keeping the planner protected inside of the box when you're not using it. So I don't think there's any major significant differences there. On a quality level, I would say that this material is higher quality than this. Again, you get what you pay for. Upon initial look at the construction of these planners, these are nearly identical. They are almost the same size, and in fact, I thought they were the exact same size, but when I actually started putting my Hobonichi and the other, inserts that I use inside of my Hobonichi planner setup inside the Moterm cover, I discovered that it was slightly narrower when it was open flat and also a little bit shorter. You're not going to be able to see much of a difference on the screen, but lining that up as carefully as I can, you can see that the Moterm is maybe 1/4 of an inch shorter than the Gillio. And it doesn't seem like that would make that much of a difference, but when you are tucking things inside the planner and the height of the planner gets a little bit shorter, there's less available space to tuck, if that makes sense. So if you're tucking something into a pocket, the thicker the item is that you're tucking into the pocket, or the more things you're stuffing into that pocket, if that pocket is shorter in size, it's going to give you less space to expand to hold those items. So just a little bit of difference in size and height, but it does make a difference when you're stuffing things inside. If you're just putting in the Hobonichi, it's not going to make a whole big difference. And I will show you guys that I'm able to actually put my entire setup that I normally have for my Hobonichi into this planner. Initially, I didn't think I was going to be able to fit it, and so I was going to return it, but I was able to get it all fit inside. So just lining these two planners up, bottom corner to bottom corner, you can see here that it is just slightly shorter on the top, and then just a little bit shorter widthwise. And again, that doesn't make a whole lot of difference at the beginning. If you're somebody that likes to stuff things and paste things into your Hobonichi or add a lot of stickers, and your Hobonichi tends to grow quite a bit during the year, that might be a problem for you. I don't use a ton of stickers, and my Hobonichi does not gain very much thickness throughout the year, so I don't think that's going to be a problem for me. Either way, the strap on the planner is fairly generous. And I would say that it's identical pretty much in length to the Gillio. So the strap on the Moterm and the strap on the Gillio are almost identical in length. Looking on the inside of the planners, they both have a 2 sets of bookmarks, which is a ribbon type bookmark with a piece of leather at the bottom, and it's sewn onto the ribbon. So that's almost identical. And then the layout of the pockets on the inside left cover is very, very similar as well. The Moterm actually has 2 more pockets than the Gillio does, and I'll show you guys when I get to the construction part of it. But they both have a shorter front inner pocket here. And then I thought that all of the Moterm pockets running up the left side here were the same height, but let me grab a stencil so you can see this one's a little bit short. This one is a little bit deeper, and then this one is actually a deep pocket. So just like Gillio has the shorter pocket in on the top here, and then this second pocket is deeper, I would say that the Moterm pocket is actually slightly deeper. It could be the same. It's almost the same height. It's just that Gillio has this curved cutout right here. So they both have a nice deep pocket in the front for the stencils or whatever you need to tuck into the front. And then they both have a pocket here on the side, a slip pocket that you can, that goes, oh, this goes about, so this goes this distance. Let's see how far this one goes. Yeah, so they both go about the distance of the card pockets here. Now, the difference, I always try to get into this thinking that this is a pocket right here, because in the Hobonichi covers, like the fabric Hobonichi covers, this is actually a pocket right here. It's not on this side, it's on this side. So I always go into this thinking that it's going to be a pocket. Moterm actually did put a pocket right there. So that's nice to have a third additional pocket in the front here. And then behind that pocket and the card slots is where you're going to have your pocket that you actually slide the Hobonichi covers into. Same on this side. So as I was saying before, because the height of the Moterm is slightly smaller than the Gillio, this really only serves as a holder for the covers of the Hobonichi to hold it inside the planner, whereas in the Gillio you can slide the edges of the cover inside here, and then you can, there's actually enough gusset space to be able to tuck things inside here as well. You can get away with that a little bit on the Moterm planner, but the height of the planner itself makes this a little tighter and a little bit more restrictive. Comparing the right sides of the planner, the pen loop on the Moterm is quite generously sized. The Gillio has an elasticized pen loop, which I like the look of because it has the leather in the front and then they hide the elastic in the back, and it kind of makes it a little bit less intrusive. This pen loop is big and chunky. I'm not a big fan of the look of that, but I'd rather have a big, generously sized girthy pen loop that can fit whatever pen I need to use. Like all of my fountain pens, I tried out all my fountain pens. They all fit in there, plenty of space. I'd rather have a nice, big, generously sized pen loop than the ridiculously small pen loop that's in the Malden. Or preferably I'd have a elasticized pen loop. So can't really complain about that. They do use leather here. So I just, this is quite large. You would actually be able to fit, I mean, any pen that you, pretty much any pen that you could think of would fit inside of the Moterm. Then they both have a secretarial pocket in the front. And then the big difference here in the back is that the Gillio has a zipper pouch and the Moterm just has 2 pocket options. So they both have the slide-in pocket where you can put the back side of the Hobonichi cover in, and then instead of a zip pocket, the Moterm has just a slide-in pocket right here. Actually, I kind of prefer this layout because as useful as a zipper pocket is in the Gillio, the zipper mechanism rubs on whatever paper I have laying against it. So with my Hobonichi sitting inside, obviously like the back, this part of it is tucked inside the Gillio. So this part of my paper right here is exposed to that zipper over and over again, and over time it starts to rub into that paper right there. So yes, the zipper is convenient to have, but sometimes it can cause a problem when paper is sitting on top of it and it's constantly rubbing on that metal zipper there. And then what makes a Gillio is the pocket in the back of the cover. Moterm has a pocket as well. This is approximately letter sized. I'm gonna grab a piece of paper. So you should be able to fit an entire letter or A4 sized sheet of paper in the back of the planner, which you definitely can in there. So you can either fold it in half and tuck it in the back, or just slide this whole thing in and close it, which is really nice. That's why I like half letter or A5 size things, because it's just half of a standard sheet of paper. And so printing and cutting things is very easy, and also being able to incorporate a full A4 or letter sized piece of paper into the planner is quite easy as well. So Gillio has the pocket in the back. Gillio has the pocket in the back. The Moterm has the pocket in the back. You will see here is one of the major differences between these 2 planners, and that's where that whole price point thing comes into play. I thought that this was like fake leather pleather in the back of the Gillio. Now that I have been messing with it when I was preparing for this video, this might be actual leather in the back of the Gillio. It just very, very thinly scraped leather. I am not sure, but this is definitely feels sturdier than the fabric that they use on the inside of the Moterm. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but you can actually see, I can actually see my fingers through this fabric right here that they use on the inside of the Moterm. So a much more like plasticky, can you hear the crinkly? You can kind of hear the crinkly noise of whatever fabric they use on the inside of this cover. I don't think it's going to make a whole big difference. You might, over the course of many years, risk rubbing through that fabric. But I think for the most part, it is what it is. It's just fabric, a placeholder for the leather to attach to. Both of these covers are genuine leather. I know that Gillio actually sources their leather from cows that are being slaughtered for meat. So they don't source their leather from a place that only slaughters the cow for the hide. They get their hides from cows that are already going to slaughter to be eaten. I don't know where Moterm gets their leather. It is genuine leather. It doesn't smell quite as nice to me as the Gillio does. Like, one of the things about Gillio is like the really luxurious, well-made leather smell. I know that, you know, we don't all buy our planners based on smell alone, but I did just want to point that out there. The Gillio leathers smell to me like a bomber jacket, or like an old leather jacket that like my dad would have. That's what I think of when I smell Gillio. It just smells like fancy leather, rich mahogany and leather-bound books, if you know what I mean. This is definitely leather. It has a leather smell, but just kind of like a cheaper leather smell, if that makes any sense. One of the benefits of spending $300 on a Gillio planner, aside from the fact that you're getting a Gillio, is that they have a lifetime guarantee. If anything goes wrong with your planner at any point, even if you're not the first owner, Gillio will take care of you as a customer. Either they replace the item or they repair it. One drawback to that is that this planner is coming from Belgium, and so if you ever need to send it in for repairs, you have to ship it all the way across the world. Well, at least it's across the world for me. Maybe you live in Belgium, or maybe you're right next door to Belgium, and it's not a big deal. But if you live in the United States, especially with shipping going the way that it's going right now, it might be a little bit of an inconvenience. This planner I got off of Amazon, and so it was to my house within 2 days, and it falls under Amazon's normal return policy. I think you have 30 days to return it if you don't want it at all. But there are active buy-sell trade groups for both of these planners, and that in fact is where I got this Gillio. I got this off of the Gillio buy-sell trade group, which I will on Facebook, which I will link down below. And then I will also link the buy sell trade groups and the fan group for the Moterm and the fan group for the Gillio planners. So you don't have to spend, I think I got a great deal on this planner. So even though this retails at about $300 plus shipping, I think I got this for around $160. And then, like I said, this one was about $50. But overall, the design, the layout, very, very similar between these two planners. And you know, Gillio is just, it's a luxury item. I mean, that's all there is to it. Gillio planners and Gillio covers. This is going to be one cover that you're going to have to pry from my cold dead hands, because Gillio just makes luxury items. Like, that's all there is to it. They're incredibly well crafted. They have a lifetime guarantee. They just feel sturdy. The leather feels supple, and it's like heavy and like weighty in your hands. This one definitely feels a little bit less luxurious, but it's certainly an excellent planner for the price point. In fact, this is the taupe color. I didn't see the pebble gray when I was looking, but I did just check online and they had the black Croco leather print, so I ordered myself that one as well. This is, for $50, this is an excellent cover. I mean, if you want to really kind of class up your Hobonichi cover, the Moterm is an excellent option. If you can get it on Amazon, I would recommend that route, because I think the only other place they sell it is AliExpress. And from what I've seen online, that shipping takes about a month, even though I think the planner itself might be slightly cheaper on AliExpress, but you have to wait a month for shipping or pay for expedited shipping. I love my like fabric Hobonichi covers, and some of my favorite covers are the fabric Hobonichi covers. But I mean, this is like a vinyl-y, like placemat feeling fabric. And so as durable and cute as these are, if you want a really classy looking cover, you really can't go wrong with leather. And I don't think you can go wrong with the Moterm. I think this is a great option to get it quicker and to get it at a more affordable price point. So just for fun, I'm going to show you guys how I would fit everything inside this Moterm planner. Like I said, the Gillio is definitely more generously sized, both in the height and also in the width of the planner. But I can still make this one work for my Hobonichi. So hold on, let's get everything inside. And like I said, my Hobonichi does not grow too much throughout the year. It's definitely a little bit of a tighter fit than my Gillio and my normal like fabric Hobonichi covers, but it absolutely works. So if you don't keep an extra notebook tucked in here, if you don't have a whole lot of stuff in the front, you're not going to have a problem. I mean, even though I think this would last me all year, I guess I'm just going to have to try out and see. There's definitely some room, like a little bit of space. I can kind of get my finger in there, but yeah, it's a little bit tighter than my other covers, but there's a little bit of room to grow as far as thickness goes. But my Gillio is definitely roomier. My fabric Hobonichi covers are definitely roomier. So this may be a planner cover that you use at the beginning of the year, and then you have to switch to something more roomy at the end of the year. Maybe you don't keep an extra insert in the back or a whole bunch of stuff in the front cover, and so that's not going to be a problem for you. There's definitely a little bit of I can feel a little bit of space, so if this gets slightly thicker, I think it would be fine. And then leather tends to stretch the more that you use it anyway, so I think you have a little bit of wiggle room for the Moterm, but just to point out, it's slightly snugger than my other covers. I'm going to mention a third option that is available just for consistency's sake, because I have done a comparison video on the Vanderspeks before, but the Vanderspek company also makes a Codex cover is what they call it. So they make an A5 size cover. It doesn't come in their pre-made like Touch Me line like the ring bound planners do. You actually have to go in there and design it, and to add all of the elements of a Gillio planner to custom make a Vanderspek planner to fit an A5 Hobonichi with all of the pockets and the back pocket and the zipper and all that kind of stuff. It was like way, way expensive, way out of my price range. Like I'm talking like $400 or something like that, $450 maybe. So I got this in the buy-sell trade groups, like I said, for like $160. This was $50. I would love to be able to compare the Vanderspek planner to these two as well, like I've done in the past, but that is just way, way, way out of my price range. However, I will list the Vanderspek website, the Vanderspek fan group, and also the buy-sell trade group on Facebook in the description box below. Okay, so my overall thoughts, I think this is a really well-made copycat of the Gillio, and for 50 bucks with Amazon Prime shipping, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I'm gonna link the Gillio and the Moterm fan groups, and then the Gillio and Moterm buy-sell trade groups as well. If you guys have any questions about this planner cover, please leave me a comment down below. Otherwise, my next video that goes up, it may go up before this, it may go up after this, I'm not sure yet, but either way, I will link it in the cards above and in the description box below, but I'm gonna be doing an update on my Hobonichi and how it's been going for me, because it has been going swimmingly. I love this thing. I'm having a lot of fun in it, and it's very successful for me right now. So I'll be giving you guys an update on this soon. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.